Good morning, students. So, in the last class, we discussed about triangulation, the important characteristics of triangulation, the main objectives of triangulation, then important classifications of triangulation, then different signals and towers that we use in triangulation, then what are the important characteristics for an ideal signal, then the criteria to be considered for selecting stations, triangulation stations. All these points we discussed in the previous class. So the remaining portions we will discuss in this session. Okay. And the first topic is reduction to center. And this is a term that we use in a triangulation process. Suppose we have to select a station uh, in a place as that it is inaccessible. We are unable to go to that place. We have to keep our signal in a higher position, such as we have to keep in over above a church top or a flagpole, etc., so that that point is visible from the other two stations. Okay, suppose this is our triangulation. Already we fixed two other points, and for obtaining a well conditioned triangle we are selecting a new station. We are selecting a new station, but for getting this exact uh, point, we have to keep our signal over a higher point, such as our church top. Okay, so we can keep our signal over there, but for taking the next observations, for taking angles to the other two stations or taking other readings, distances, etc., it is difficult to reach that exact location or above that church. Okay, so in that case we'll keep our signal over there, but we'll take the observations. The next observations will be taken from a nearby point. Okay, from a nearby accessible point, and we will take the reading from that point, and that point is known as a satellite station. Okay, and if you are doing like this, then our observations will have a error. Our observations will be like it is taken from the new point, but actually we have to take the readings from that exact point from where the signal was kept, right? So we have to make a correction, and that correction applied for this reading, for these observations, is known as reduction to center. Okay, so it is written here: to secure well conditioned triangles or intervisibility, the objects such as chimneys, towers, etc. are selected as triangulation stations, and these can be sighted from other stations, but it is not possible to occupy these stations for taking observations. In such cases, a satellite station is established and observations are taken and later reduced to what they would have been if the main station was occupied. Okay, the main station is the inaccessible point, but we are taking another point which is the satellite station. So we have to reduce it such that the angle or the measurements will be such that it is taken from the main station. Okay, that is known as reduction to center. Okay, so what is a satellite station? In order to secure well-conditioned triangles or better indivisibility of objects, indivisibility, objects such as church tops, flagpoles, or towers, etc., are sometimes selected as triangulation stations. If the instrument is impossible to set up over that point, a subsidiary station or a nearby station known as a satellite station or false station is selected as near as possible to the main stations, and the observations are made to the other stations with the same precision from the satellite station. Okay, okay, the next topic is determination of intervisibility and height of triangulation stations. So this is a different topic. That is, after selecting our stations, we have to make sure that they are intervisible. So both the stations are intervisible, and if it is not intervisible, means then we have to increase the height of the tower or whatever. Okay, so mathematically we can find it. So intervisibility between stations is the most essential condition in a triangulation. When the distance between stations is too large or the elevation difference is less, both signal and stations to be elevated will have to be elevated to overcome the effect of earth curvature. The calculations of height of signal and instrument depends upon the following factors. So what are the factors? The distance between stations, the relative elevation of the stations, and the profile of intervening ground. Okay, all these factors will affect the intervisibility of our stations. Okay, as we know, in triangulation we are considering a very long distances. Measurements are taken for kilometers and kilometers. Okay, so suppose this is the curvature of earth and our first station is A, the next station is B. So in this case, the curvature of earth will also affect our readings. Okay, suppose our height our instrument height is suppose h1, and our line of sight will be like this. So depending upon our height, we will have a horizon distance, that is the distance up to which we can see up to the curvature of earth. So for example, suppose we are standing on a seaside, so we can see only up to a particular distance. After that our vision is obstructed. Okay, so that distance is depending upon our height. So this is the curvature of earth and we are standing at a height h1, and we can see only up to the horizon. Only up to this distance we are able to see with our naked eye. Okay, and that distance is d, some kilometers it will be. Okay, and this distance is known as horizon distance. Horizon distance. Okay. Okay, so if the intervening ground does not obstruct the intervisibility, the distance of horizon from the station of known elevation is given by the following formula. So we can calculate the horizon distance. So this is a figure showing that d is the horizon distance. So we have a general formula, that is h, the height of the station, is equal to d square by 2r into 1 minus 2m. H is the height above the station, height of the station above the datum. D is the horizon distance or distance of the visible horizon. R is the mean radius of the earth, and m is the mean coefficient of refraction, and it is taken equal to 0.07 for sites over land and taken as 0.08 for sites over the sea. Okay, so we have to derive, we have to substitute the values and get the equation. So here, after substituting the value of r 6370 kilometer and m value as 0.07, we will get the equation. These two equations are important, that is height h. H is the height of the station above datum. H is equal to 0.076735 into d square. Here d is in kilometer and we'll get h in meters. Okay, substituting the value of d in kilometer, we'll get the result h in meters. Similarly here, for finding out the distance, horizon distance, if you already know the height of the station, then we can find the distance of horizon, that is equal to 3.853 into root h. So these two equations are important. So here also, substituting the value of h in meters, we will get the result distance of horizon in kilometer. Okay, so we'll discuss an example. For example, this is the earth and our station is at a height h1 above the datum, and our line of sight is like this. such that the horizon distance of our station 1 is d1, and we need to find the height of the line of sight at the next point. We need to find the height h2. Okay, and we already know the distance between the 2 points. Suppose this is a and this is b. We know the distance between a and b, that is capital D. Okay, then the first step will be first thing we know is h1 and d we know. So from these two we have to find d1, d2, and then last h2. Okay, so from the value of h1 we can find d1, that is d1 is equal to 3.853 root h1. After substituting that, we will get the value of d1. We got the value of d1. Okay, so we already know what is d, and d1 we found out. So d minus d1 will give the value of d2. d2 means from the horizon to the next point b. So if we get the distance d2, that is the distance from the point horizon point to the next station. If we know d2, then we can find h2, that is h2 will be equal to 0.0673 into d square. What is d? d2 square. Okay, then we can find the height of the line of sight. This is line of sight. Height of the line of sight at the next station, station B. That is how we do this. Okay, so similarly we can find the relative elevation of stations. That is what we discussed right now, the relative elevation of stations. If you know, here it is given. Okay, just read it. Distance between the stations A and B of height HA and HB respectively is D. Okay, distance from the two stations A and B is distance D, kilometers. Okay, and DA and DA are the distances of visible horizon from A and B respectively, and HP dash is the required elevation at B above datum. Okay, so required elevation at B means if this elevation this is the line of sight. So if a person stands in A and he can see the point B dash, okay, any point below the B dash the observer from A will not be able to see because of the horizon. Okay, so suppose this ground level is below this HB dash, below the point HB dash, below the height HB dash, then we will have to keep a tower, or we have to increase the height of the station so that the person in A can see them. Okay, okay, so this is the steps are as we discussed before. And one point, normally the line of sight is kept at 3 meters above the ground as the refraction is maximum near the ground. Okay, the line of sight will have to be kept at a 3 meters above the ground. So now we will discuss some problems, numericals. Okay, the first question, two stations A and B 80 kilometer apart have elevations 15 meter and 280 meter above mean sea level respectively. Determine the minimum height of signal at B. Okay, so given that station A is 15 meter above the datum and station B is 280 meter above datum, ground level, it is talking about the ground level. Okay, and these two stations are 80 kilometer apart. So we can draw the figure like this. This is the curvature of Earth, and the first point, station A, h1 is 15 meter. Distance between AB is 80 kilometer. So we can find from this h1, we can find the distance of horizon d1 is equal to 3.853 root h1. So distance of horizon is 14.92. Distance d1 is 14.92. So using this d1 we can find d2. d2 is equal to 80 minus d1. 80 minus d1 is 65.08 kilometer. Okay, so now we can find the height of the line, elevation of line of sight at B. Elevation of line of sight at B. How much it is? Elevation of line of sight at B. That is h2 is equal to 0.06735 d2 square. d2 is 65.08 kilometer. Substituting the value of in kilometer, we will get answer as 285.25 meter. Okay, so the line of sight is 285.25 meter above a datum. Okay, we are talking about elevations. So this is just like a reduced level. We already discussed in levels, reduced level. So this is 285.25 meter above a particular data, above mean sea level. Okay, that is the height elevation of line of sight. So also we are given in the question, that is the elevation of ground level at B is 280 meter. Elevation of ground at B is 280 meter. So we already got the height, elevation of line of sight is 285 meter and elevation of ground level is 280 meter. So ground level is below the line of sight. Okay, so no, so line of sight is above the ground level. This is the line of sight and our ground is like this. Okay, so we have to increase the height of the station, or we have to provide a tower, and the height of the tower will be minimum height of the tower or signal required will be 285.25 minus 280, and that is 5.25 meter. Okay, and we'll discuss one more question. There is two triangulation stations A and B 60 kilometer apart are having elevations 240 meter and 280 meters respectively about datum. Okay, find the minimum height of signal required at B so that line of sight may not pass near the ground than 2 meters. The intervening ground may be assumed to have uniform elevation of 200 meters. Okay, so here a condition is given, that is the line of sight should be line of sight may not pass near the ground than 2 meters. Okay, also the intervening ground may be assumed to have a uniform elevation of 200 meters. So between the first station and the last station, the elevation of intervening ground is given. It is uniformly 200 meters. And our line of sight should be 2 meter above the ground level. So line of sight should never be less than 200 plus 2, that is 202 meter. Okay, line of sight should never fall below 202 meter elevation. Okay, we can see in the problem. So here it is, you can write minimum elevation of line of sight should be 200 plus 2, that is 200 is the elevation of intervening ground, and our line of sight, that is line of sight should never fall below, maybe from some mean sea level. This is the height of elevation of ground intervening ground level, and line of sight should never be fall below the never be less than 2 meters. So minimum elevation of line of sight should be 202 meter. Okay, and this is taken as the new datum. From this, now the measurements or the readings will be taken from this datum. So the height of the station above datum will be, we already it is given that the station A is at 240 meter elevation, that is from mean sea level. So but now we are taking 202 as the datum. Now we are taking that 202 meter as datum. So height of the station A above the new datum is 240 minus 202, that is 38 meter is the new height of the station A. Okay, and using this height we find the horizon distance. Substituting the height of station in meter, we will get the horizon distance in kilometer, 23.75. Okay, now we have to find the D2. D1 we found out. Now we need to find D2. We need to find D2. So D minus D1 will give D2. We know what is D, 60, and D1 is 23.75. So we can find D2 as equal to D minus D1. So that is 36.7525. So using this D2, we can find the elevation of line of sight above datum at B. So H2 will be equal to 0.06735 into D square. That is 36.25 whole square. We will get the result in meter. So so now you can understand the difference between the first and second question. In the first question, we are taking the direct elevation values, but in this question we are taking the 202 meter as the datum, and the height measurements are taken from this new datum. Okay, so we got the elevation of line of sight at BS 88.49, and the actual elevation from the mean sea level will be this 88 plus that 202. Okay, that I will show like this. Suppose this is our station B, and we have taken our datum as 202 meter above mean sea level. Okay, and we got that the height of the station is, height of the ground level at B is 88.49 meter above the new datum. Okay, so the actual elevation from the mean sea level or the actual datum will be the sum of these two. Okay, actual elevation of line of sight at B from the actual datum will be 290.49. that is the line of sight elevation. So now we have to check if our station is above the line of sight or below the line of sight. Okay, So we already know that the elevation of ground level is 280 meter, that is given in the question. The question is given that the elevation of the station B is 280 meter. So that we know. So the minimum required height of the signal at B will be, so as you can see, the line of sight is 290.49 meter above the atom, and our ground level is at 280 meter above the atom. Okay, some data. So the required height of the signal will be 290.49 minus 280, which is 10.49. That is the minimum height of signal to be provided at the station B. Okay.